Hello, welcome back. I'm Maria from Hip, New Jersey, and we are here in the luxurious co-working space at Industrious in the mall at Short Hills. This third floor of Saks has been turned into this magnificent co-working space where I invite you all to come check out. But more importantly, I am here with Charles Duque of cheesesofeurope.com. Welcome.
Thank you, Maria.
And he is here, he is going to show us how to create the perfect cheese board for the holidays. So tell us, what do we do first?
Well, thanks for having me, and
Absolutely.
the cheeses, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, I think everybody enjoys seeing and having a cheese board for the holidays, and we're here to talk a little bit about how to put one together.
Yes.
And some tips in creating something that's magnifique.
That'd be great. Yes. How do we make, what are the cheeses that we choose to make a perfect cheese board?
Well, you know, I think Europe has so many wonderful cheeses, and it really elevates a cheese board. And here we have a selection of French cheeses today. France alone has 1,200 cheeses.
Wow.
So there's a lot to choose from.
Yes.
Here we have 5 cheeses. I think it's always nice to have an odd number of cheeses.
Okay.
So 3, 5, 7, depending on how many people you're having over.
Got it.
So you want to arrange them usually from mildest to strongest.
Got it. Okay.
So that's what we did today. We have 5 cheeses, and we have a triple creme, a camembert, a comté, a poisse, and a fond d'ambert.
Okay.
So here we are going from the mildest cheese. We're working our way clockwise to the strongest cheese.
Okay. So when you look at a board this size, how much should this serve? How do you know?
This will serve quite a bit. I mean, you want to think about having more or less 2 ounces per person.
Okay.
But you know, I think it's very important to cut into it when you're presenting it. That way people have that liberty of going in and grabbing a couple of pieces and serving themselves, because people are very intimidated.
Sure.
Seeing whole pieces of cheese and they don't know what to do and
Right.
what order, you know, how to cut them.
Yes.
And you know, all that is important if you want to have really the best experience possible.
Absolutely.
In the case of this camembert, for instance, I mean, you want to cut it like a pie.
Oh, okay.
And you want to be able to serve everybody some rind and paste,
Okay.
because the rind has flavor, has texture, and that's really as important as the inside. So then it's a question of really adding accompaniments. You could add charcuterie, dried fruit, fresh fruit. We have nuts here. We have some pomegranate. We have some macaron. We have you know, some crackers here. So it's really a question of just making it easy to serve, making it easy for people to be able to grab a piece of cheese and use a cracker as a vessel to bring it up to their mouths.
Okay.
In the case of these, you know, very creamy cheeses. So, you know, you could pretty much use a lot of different things.
So right now, I feel like the board meal is all the rage. Everybody's doing from brunch boards to dessert boards, cheese boards, obviously.
Grazing boards.
Yes, grazing boards. I think it's an amazing presentation. How do you make it accessible to everyone when they're at a party?
Well, again, I think cutting into it is very important. I think you want to maybe add some of these little signs with the name of the cheese. That way people know what they're eating. Maybe even give them more information about it. And, you know, if you as the hostess know a little bit about the story behind each cheese, it makes it more interesting to share and talk about it.
All right, let's try some.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, so what do we have here?
So we have, you know, we're going to start
my
off
favorite.
like on the board with the mildest cheese, which is
Okay.
the triple creme there. This
That's
one.
this one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's a knife you can
Great,
put some
thank
on.
you.
And this is going to be a very lactic cheese. It's very creamy. They add 75% butter fat to the milk when they're making it.
Okay.
It's a specialty from Burgundy. And it is just, you know, like butter pretty much. It's creamy, smooth. You can dress it up with, you know, savory accompaniments or sweet.
This is my kind of cheese.
Yeah.
For sure.
For example, if you take the whole thing and, you know, cut it in half, you can shave some truffle in there.
Oh,
Or if
wow.
not, you could add, you know, put some of this creamy cheese inside a macaron, so give it that sweet and savory.
That's delicious. That's delicious. Okay, what do we have next?
The camembert. So it's this one here.
That's this one here.
It's that little wedge there. So camembert is from Normandy. It's going to be a bit stronger than what we just had.
Can I do that on the apricot?
Sure.
Okay.
It's a bit more earthy. You'll see the rind really adds texture and gives it that nuttiness, that earthiness that we come to know from Normandy.
Oh, wow, that's delicious. Oh my God, they're getting better and better.
Yes.
Okay, what do we have next?
Next is the comté, which is this one here. This is a very big 100-pound wheel.
Wow.
Yeah, so this one has 83 different aroma descriptors. So
Really?
yeah, every wheel is different. They're aged inside old army forts that are caved into like mountainsides in France. And it's just an amazing cheese. I mean, this is one of the cornerstones of French cuisine.
One is better than the next. They're so delicious.
Then finally, well, not last, but the next one is a poisse.
Okay.
A poisse is from Burgundy as well. It's a washed rind cheese. So they wash it. Usually cheeses are washed with a brine solution.
Okay.
This one is washed with pomace brandy from Burgundy. So this is one of those pungent, stinky cheeses.
Okay.
But if you get past that, it's very creamy inside. So if you want to grab some, you can do so with a knife, put it on maybe a cracker. Yeah, just dig into it actually, because it's it's very creamy. Usually, if you dollop it with a spoon, This one goes really nice with sweet wines like Sauterne, Muscat. Yeah.
Now, would you eat the rind of this one as well?
Yes.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay.
This cheese was actually forbidden in the Paris subway back in the early 20th century because of its very pungent aroma. Oh. But once you have it in mouth, it's very mild actually, very mild and creamy. Yeah,
totally. That is delicious.
And last but not least, the Camembert, which is a blue cheese, and this is a cheese that's made with cow's milk, as are the rest as well. So it's a lot milder than Roquefort, which is a cheese that most people are familiar with. This one could also be, dressed up with, let's say, honey, or maybe a piece of banana actually works well.
Really? Banana?
A banana, yeah. It really gives that a nice texture in mouth, and it reduces the piquant that it carries. Also, some people eat it with, let's say, a piece of bread with butter, and that really brings down the spiciness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And there you have it.
For more on the cheeses of Europe, go to hipnewjersey.com.